We will be hearing from Jill Martin, Caden Martin's other grandmother.
Good afternoon. Take your time. This is your time to talk. No rushing.
My name is Jill Martin. I'm Caden Martin's paternal grandmother. Bre'Juan Williams showed no remorse during his trial. He didn't even look at the video of Caden being robbed and murdered. He walked in on days smiling. He was on trial for felony murder and smiled and smirked. Caden was an amazing human being. He did not deserve to be gunned down. It is sickening to think of this teenager stealing ice cream while Caden was scared for his life. Then to go home and eat the ice cream, knowing you left someone on the floor to die. He tried to play victim as his defense. No one forced him to do any of his actions that night. At any time during these senseless actions, he could have stopped it. The victims in this case is our beloved Caden, as well as the many people who loved Caden and would have given their lives to save him. Caden gave everything asked of him. So the motive was not the vapes, the money, or the ice cream. They got all of those things. The motive was to kill. The lives of those left behind who loved Caden, have been changed for the rest of their lives. I will never get to see my grandson smile or hug him again. This teenager does not deserve any type of mercy. Caden was shown no mercy that night. Caden was so special, and we shed tears every day over his life being taken so soon. He made a positive impact on those around him. He always told me, "I love you, Maine." He was brilliant, ambitious, caring, kind, and loving. He was the light of our family. No sentence on this earth will ever bring enough justice, but the maximum allowed by state law is all we can ask for. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, the last remark that I would make is to note that the Victims' Compensation Fund paid $5,940.95 for funeral benefits on behalf of the victim, and we would be asking for restitution paid to the Victims' Compensation Fund.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harvey?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'll be brief, and I'll just put on the record, Mr. Williams, a conversation we had at Gene Spadera. I told him I believe the human beings are better than the worst thing they've ever done in their life. We all stain and tear the fabric of our life. But through grace, time, and personal effort, you can clean that and mend that. So he has two important dates. October 31st, 2011, he'll be 18 and be brought back before the court.
2000 what? I'm sorry?
I think it's 2011. He'll be 18. Sometime after that.
No, not 2011.
You're going back. Oh, 2000. I'm sorry. 2027.
Right.
Okay. He'll be 18 and by code, he'll be brought. You know, I'm probably being honest that the reconstruction and reconfiguration of his life to make himself better than what jury's found that he's dead, but that probably won't be enough time. But February 1st of 2039, he'll be brought from wherever he's at, and he'll sit down with the parole board, and they'll sit out and look at the criteria for parole, and that's where he'll need to show what he's done to make this, and to show his efforts to make this and show what he's done to improve himself in life. He needs to get his education, his GED. He's 14 years old when this happened. He'll be almost close to 30. During that time period, he can get as much education as he can. He can read everything they have. I believe a man is what he reads. He can reflect on the time. So sometimes you got to be your freedom taken away. And that he can reflect. He's got a long road to make himself a better person. I think we all have that in our ability to leave this place better than when we came into it. And he'll be a young man. And if he takes the time and through self-improvement, grace, and everything, staying out of trouble, he can turn his life around and make amends for what the jury has found. So by law, the statute's already, the penalty's already there. And so he knows what he needs to do, and it's up to him now to decide if he's going to meet that effort that's required to make yourself a better person than you were at 14, or at 18, or at 30. We'll always, every day, be the best version of yourself. Thank you.
Does your client wish to speak, Mr. Hunt?
You want to say?
Yes, sir.
You'd like to speak?
All right. Mr. Williams,
Yes, ma'am.
you may speak.
To the morning, I'm so sorry for what happened to your son, and I know there is nothing in my power that I can do to bring him back, but I am with you all when justice needs to be served. But justice was served the day BJ took that plea deal to the horrible act of murder and robbery. I took no part in that entire heartless act that took place that night. Caden Martin, your son, was tragically killed. The night Caden, and taking away from his family, loved ones, and friends. Yes, I was there unmedicated at the time the heartless act took place. We were supposed to be getting some Rellos so I could roll up some weed, and we could smoke as a blunt. I never knew any of this was going to happen, or else I would have never came to the smoke shop with him, especially after doing 18 months and being out for only 2. I was cool with Caden. I get saying that probably don't mean nothing to y'all because BJ is family to y'all, but I say this from deep down in my heart. I'm so sorry for what happened to poor, defenseless, young, kind, caring, loving man. No matter what, locked up or free, I will always make sure his story is told. Long live Caden Martin.
Is that it?
And I apologize to his family. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may sit down. Is there anything further, Ms. Stubb?
I'm only surprised that the defendant chose to apologize now, but no, Your Honor.
Mr. Hunt?
No, Your Honor.
Well, I didn't take that as an apology, actually, Mr. Williams. What I took that for was exactly what that was meant for you to abdicate yourself of responsibility. That was possibly not the worst thing I've ever heard a defendant say, but it was close. You sat there in front of the victim's family after they told you over and over again how much they've lost and told them you didn't have responsibility for it. But the jury disagreed and convicted you, which was the right decision. First, I want to acknowledge the family of Caden Martin, Jill, Sandy, and Jessica. You have all shown a tremendous amount of restraint. You were here through the whole trial. That could not have been easy. You all were strong, and you all just sat through what the defendant said. So for that, you are to be respected and appreciated. But Sandy, you are right. There is nothing that I can do that will undo the suffering that you all have have endured and will continue to endure for as long as you're alive. There's no sentence that can fix this. There's nothing I can do to bring him back. But I do believe that God is with you, Sandy. You said you lost your faith. I would say the same thing to everyone else. Caden's dad, family, everyone that's here. It means a lot that you're here for him. And this whole case is a testimony to just how senseless and awful gun violence is. This court has carefully considered all of the evidence presented at trial, the pre-sentence report, the defendant's psychological evaluation, and the factors contained in 6111.13 of West Virginia Code, which addresses the factors the court should consider when sentencing juveniles. First, everyone here has acknowledged this, that 6111.13 of the West Virginia Code states that a sentence of life without the possibility of parole may not be imposed on a juvenile. Further, upon the age of 18, this defendant has the right to come back before this court to be resentenced. According to Mr. Hively, that's sometime in 2027, correct? Not long from now. At that time, Jessica, Sandy, and Jill, and all of you here will have to go through the same thing over again. For that, I apologize. I don't make the law. But at that time, the court will consider all of this again. The court will consider anything that you have to say, Mr. Williams, when you turn 18. The court will consider any progress or lack of progress that you have made between now and the time that you turn 18, when you come back to be resentenced. But today, I have to impose a sentence for a profoundly terrible and serious crime, the taking of another human life. And from when the evidence is presented at the trial, the taking of a life after Mr. Martin gave you all everything you wanted. A crime for which you, Mr. Williams, although you were young, had the capacity to know was wrong. You knew it was wrong to rob a store. You knew it was wrong for your co-defendant to go in there with a gun. You knew it was wrong to act as a lookout. You knew it was wrong to steal. You knew it was wrong to go back and eat it. You knew it was wrong, the whole thing. The whole time that went on. Shouldn't have any appreciation for that. You got convicted of it and immediately turned around and said that what you were looking forward to when you were released was desecrating the victim's grave. Those are monstrous words. It's a monstrous mindset. And if you do not take advantage of the rehabilitation that is offered to you, sir, you will have a long life of incarceration, I'm sure of it. Along with those statements, your behavior during trial, the evidence adduced at trial, and what you said here today, Mr. Williams, you make my job easy. I do not have any choice but to impose the maximum that the law allows on you, sir, which is life in the penitentiary of the state of West Virginia without the possibility of parole. With the possibility of parole after 15 years. I truly wish I could give you more. It is the court's job to hold you accountable for the life that you and your co-defendant stole from Caden Martin and his family. It is also the court's job to protect the public from you. And it is the court's job to put you in a place where you can take advantage of the opportunity for rehabilitation. The law recognizes that young offenders have the capacity to change. Mr. Hively talked about that. And I sincerely hope you do. Because what you've presented today is a depraved, malicious, violent, unremorseful young person. A person from whom the public must be protected. Caden Martin's family will have to endure a lifetime. If you are not resentenced, if you were sentenced to the same thing at the age of 18, When you come up for parole, they will have to go through it again and again and again. The true victims are sitting over there, sir. And it is certainly not you. Is there anything further, Ms. Tuck?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hadley?
Your Honor, I just asked the court to inform Mr. Williams about his right to appeal. We talked about it a couple times and whether he wanted us to continue or if he wanted new counsel. But we've discussed that. He's aware of the time period.
I don't think that does the law require me to do something specific?
The different circuits just instruct the appeal, the time period to file the notice of appeal.
Well, you've informed him of that?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Williams, you have the right to appeal your conviction. Your attorneys have explained that to you. You could request new lawyers if you want to. If you could do that through your lawyers, that would be fine with me. However you want to transmit that information. Mr. Hadley, you can let me know how he wants to proceed. I have nothing further. Thank you all. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I was going to get all their papers. Okay.
Yeah, I have